Hello, how are you? The episode of today is a build up of what we discussed in the last episode. I'll be looking at the causes of mental disorders or mental illnesses as they are understood. Science has been able to help us unravel most of the things that actually were not understood that early. As one great preacher said, when when purpose or something is not understood, then solutions cannot be sought. So I want us to discuss the known causes, and I know that there are combination of causes of mental disorders, but I'll be exploring a few of them so that then we can be able to understand. Why do we need to understand this? Because there are a lot of myths and misconceptions about mental illnesses. In some cultures, because of religious reasons or beliefs and values that people hold, some people think that somebody with a mental disorder has been bewitched. Some others think it's because of a sin that either they themselves did or was done in their lineage, or maybe a mistake that somebody did that could be causing this person to develop a mental disorder. It could be because of sin. It could be because they were cursed. It could be because they have been bewitched. All these reasons have been put forth. And when the wrong reasons are given, or when the real cause is not understood, then even treatment and management becomes difficult. That is the reason I would want to use an approach that really science has been able to reveal many of the causes of mental disorders, so that then when we are able to understand this, even from a family level, as an individual, when you can be able to say that, hey, it's not because of what I did or didn't do, it is because it is a sickness, and therefore I need to seek treatment. Just like you seek treatment for malaria, just like you seek treatment for diarrhea, just like you seek treatment for even another physical disease like a dislocation or a broken bone or a backbone that is aching, or an head that is aching, a leg that is aching. So when we are able to understand what are these causes, then it becomes easier for the individual to seek treatment, or even for the family to understand that really this is something that we need to deal with, so that we can help one of us to live a better life. At the workplace or even the society, we can be able to appreciate that really it is not because this person has chosen to think or behave or even feel the way they are feeling. So when we understand this, then we are able to deal with mental disorders in a way that we can get solutions that will make life for the individual that is having the disorder, life for the family that is living with this individual that is having the disorder, or life even for the workplace or the society within which this person lives better, so that then functionality is achieved and people are able to live a normal life. So I'll get to delve in some of these and say this: a physical damage of the brain could cause a mental disorder. Science has shown us the structure of the brain. Science has been able to reveal to us through the images that are done technologically today that the brain can be damaged to an extent that if one part of the brain is damaged, then it means it could resort to either one thinking, feeling, or behaving in a certain way that actually could be the reason behind their mental disorder. So damage of the brain, either by a physical hurt, an injury, or even a disease that the person is having, that has either been diagnosed or even not diagnosed, then this will be a cause of a mental disorder. So when we understand this, then we can scientifically seek to understand what is the structure, how is the brain of this person. We can be able to go to a medical facility to see, let's do the image and see how this the structure of the brain, if it is damaged, then we can be able to understand, oh, this could be the reason of this. So a physical factor like the damage of the brain could be a reason behind a mental disorder. Another likely reason for a mental disorder could be hereditary. Science has revealed that there are some genes that run in families that could cause anxiety, that could cause, mood problems, that could lead to irritability or such like things. So when we understand, when we can be able to look at generations before this person, and science can be able to tell us that actually there is a tendency of an inheritance of sorts running in this family. So that is another cause. Experiences like childhood experiences, and more so that incidences that happened at the formative stages of a human being. If the child felt neglected, either because they were being abused by a parent or a significant family member. At times we leave our children with the house helps or people we have employed to take care of the children. And because of the work that we have given them that at times overwhelms them, or because of even the things they themselves are going through, or likely they were also abused, they will abuse the children. And this person, this child withdraws. This child feels ashamed. This child feels helpless. This child feels hopeless. So this can be a reason for developing a mental disorder later in life that can be detected. Poverty. Today, when a person is living in a situation where they feel that they are kind of disadvantaged, they lack resources, they lack the basic amenities, it could lead to somebody feeling frustrated, feeling hungry, feeling disadvantaged, and therefore could trigger or even bring forth a mental disorder that this person could be going through. Today, the world is going through a lot of changes. The experiences that people are going through today, either because of technological development, because of disasters that are related even to climate change, including the droughts. One is experiencing a flood. A community has experienced a flood and they have lost all what they knew as their livelihood. A family has been engulfed by fire, and because of this disaster of fire, this experience becomes so traumatizing for the person. They can develop a mental disorder. Terrorism is also another cause of mental disorders, or could lead to development of mental disorders because of the fear, the shame, the anger, the experiences that people go through because of the terror experience that they have been hit with. Oftentimes, you find also a situation where there is violence at home, either sexual violence, psychological violence, or even physical violence. It also can lead to development of mental disorders. We need to be able to delve into these things, and especially so when we are looking at from a family level. When you look at the early childhood experiences, it's about the family. So this person was hurt at that stage when they were very vulnerable, in that space that they felt it was my safe space. My family is a safe space. It's not like the world out there, but then I am getting hurt in this environment or in this place that I should be feeling safe and where I should be taken care of better, that where I should be supported. And yet this is the place where I am hurting from. This could actually lead to development of mental disorders. People get to become very hopeless, very helpless, very hungry, very bitter, a lot of pain, a lot of shame. Look at a situation where there is even maybe substance abuse in the family. And as soon as maybe the father who is abusing substances nears home, the children scamper for safety because they already know either they will be beaten, they will be shouted at, or even their mother will be beaten or their father will be beaten. They don't want to see this violence, so they withdraw. they feel they are not safe. They're in a state where they get to develop hunger, but then they cannot beat this person. Probably it's their father, he's stronger than them. So all these are things that can affect or lead or trigger mental disorders. Let's say in the community level, at the workplace, there is violence that is happening, either sexual, being shouted at by your boss in a state where you don't know when you come to work if really you feel appreciated, if even what you are doing is valued, you feel you are being devalued, you are being demeaned continuously, you are even either being abandoned to struggle alone, you are not given the resources that you need to use even to work. You find that really this could lead to a lot of challenges in life that could, at the end of it, trigger mental disorders. So the environment that we live in matters a lot. That's why even from a health perspective, creating a safe environment for individuals at the family level, for individuals in the community, for individuals even in a country and a region, so that when the environment is safe, then people feel safe and they feel secure. Security is very, very important. When you have to live in a volatile environment, it could lead or trigger a mental disorder. It will lead to people who are always having thoughts of fear. A person who is developing anxiety, who gets defensive. You are on a flight mode or a fight mode continuously because of the environment that you find yourself in, and oftentimes an environment that you have no control of. So this actually could make people develop mental disorders. So this understanding will help us as families, as communities, as workplaces to actually say this person is not pretending. Oftentimes, somebody who is feeling sad, somebody who is angry, somebody who is in pain, somebody who is in shame, people say, this person is pretending. This person is not suitable for this place. And we kind of blame. It's like they have to take responsibility for what is happening. And yet, they themselves have no control of what is happening. Probably those acts that happened at childhood now are manifesting. They are manifesting. They have already developed a mental disorder because of things that they had no control of, even at childhood level, at a family level, at a society level. Look at today incidences of sexual abuse that are happening even in school environment, where you hear reports in the media of a boy who has been sodomized, and some of them have resorted to committing suicide. Some of them become so withdrawn and even they detest being in school. And because, of course, of the shame that comes with the sexual hurts, people are at times not speaking about it. So you find somebody is suffering internally, and maybe this gets repeated over and over and over again in silence. This is hurting the person, and they essentially develop a mental disorder because of something that they were exposed to, because of something that was done to them by somebody who is either their superior or who was stronger than them, who actually, especially for even for the young children, who manipulated them by giving them some gifts, as a child was bought a sweet and therefore sexually molested because they were bought a sweet and they were told, shut up, you cannot talk about this. If you dare tell your mother, if you dare tell your teacher, I will kill you, I will do this to you, and they are threatened. And these threats go further to make their mental state even worse and worse continuously. So my point here is that really we need to be able to understand what is the underlying issue, what is the cause of this, so that then even management of mental disorders can be easy, so that also even diagnosis can be made and proper treatment can be done. knowing that there are various ways that mental disorders can be treated. But for treatment to happen or management to happen, the underlying issue, the real cause of this needs to be understood. When you look at biologically, the body of a person has chemicals that it produces. If these chemicals are imbalanced, the chemicals that we call the messengers that are called neurotransmitters, if a neurotransmitter that, like the one that makes one feel happy, is either low, and then this person discovers on a day that they maybe took a certain substance, their mood was lifted, likely they'll continue taking it. But the real cause is the chemical imbalance in the brain of this person. So when we are able to understand chemical imbalances that could trigger mental disorders, that could make one develop a mental disorder, then it is easier for you as an individual not to really blame, for us as a society not to blame, not to feel like either it is a curse, either it is a sin that a person did, or likely they were bewitched. And you know from when the explanation is beyond the natural, it disables management. Because when you say you are bewitched, do you go back to bewitch? Or I mean, how do you get to know who bewitched this person so that this witchcraft can be lifted, if there is a way of lifting it? So it leaves you helpless. But when you are able to really identify the cause, or the professionals are able to identify what is this cause of this mental disorder or mental illness that this person is having, then management can be done. So what I am saying in this episode is understanding of mental disorders, understanding of mental illnesses is very, very significant. And remember, as the family or as the people that are living in the society with this person who is manifesting weird thoughts, weird feelings, weird behavior, we have a responsibility to actually be able to pick this out and reach out for help. This person may not be able to tell themselves, oh, it's not well. But we that live with them, we that relate with them on a daily basis, can be able to identify something is not okay and recommend for treatment, or recommend for a support of a professional so that the person can be helped. It is important because, as it is, it's an issue of the mind or the brain. It's not like a physical limp where you can see somebody is limping and say, hey, what is the problem? What do we do? It is a scar inside the brain. It is not visible to the physical eye. It is not visible, but you can see the signs and the symptoms. So we need to be able to look out for these signs and symptoms, because those are the identifiers that all is not well. So if we can be able to get the identifiers, then we get the professionals to actually understand what is the real cause of this identifier, so that then the illness can be detected and the illness can be treated or managed in the right way. Because at the end of the day, this person is important to themselves. No one wants to be dysfunctional. Every human being has that inherent, inbuilt desire to be okay. But when all is not well, then this person needs to be helped to manage the situation so that then they can live a life that they are productive. Identifying that it is a real struggle. It is an issue that we need to be keen on. It is, as I have always said, a developmental issue. The resources that are being channeled to treatment of mental disorders that probably, if they were detected early before they become severe, management would be easier. You find we are channeling a lot of resources to treatment instead of preventive and promotive interventions. So The earlier a diagnosis is done, the better. And diagnosis that is done by a professional. What role do you have at the community level, at the family level, is to be able to keenly point out that all is not well. It will help us to be able to reduce the burden of disease, even for the family, for the country, for the community at large. Prevention is better than cure. So if we can be able also to ensure that we prevent these causes. What am I saying by prevention? If we can make the world a better place, we can make the family a safer space for the children and for everyone therein. You need to know that it's not a violent environment that you are living in that would actually make you develop a disorder like even trauma, post-traumatic stress disorder. If we can tell ourselves by polluting our environment, we will be destroying nature that could lead to droughts, that could lead to floods, by cutting our trees, by degrading the environment that we live in, we will be causing or will be triggering or influencing the health of the people that live in that environment to be destroyed. Then we can prevent that by having the knowledge that this is not the right thing to do. Therefore, I will do what is right so that I can prevent. The more we create awareness in the community so that we promote the correct knowledge, we are able to tell people in the community are able to know, what do I look out for? What is it that is mental illnesses? What are some of the mental illnesses that are even prevalent in a certain society? So that then we reduce the stigma, the discrimination, so that a person who has a mental illness is not locked in a room and left there because we are ashamed of this person being seen by others. We are ashamed as a family of our family member being diagnosed with a mental disorder. So we hide them. We don't even take the children to school. We don't allow them to mingle with others. This is stigma. This is discrimination. All of it, which is based on lack of the correct knowledge of what mental disorders are, how are they caused, are they treatable, are they manageable, is it something that we have to live with? Is it something that we can handle? So understanding is very, very critical. So in this episode, we have discussed the causes or the underlying issues to mental disorders. And I need to point out to you that there is not one really known, or you cannot say, lay your finger and say, this is exactly what happened. Reason being, a human being is a very complex being. So there could be several contributing factors. So when these several contributing factors are able to be picked, and we emphasize, or the treatment team emphasizes on what is this issue that could be clearly the major contributing factor, or this is the major, these are others. Because even at the family level, one could be let's say, one has a physical damage to the brain, but then also they have been stigmatized, they have been socially discriminated, they have been shouted at, they have been molested. All these combination of factors can lead to this person health deteriorating and continuously and making them dysfunctional. So when we are able to have this clear understanding, when the cause of something is understood, a solution is easy to be sought. It will be able to help the individual, it will be able to help nations, it will be able to help the world to become a better place. So once again, I want to say that I really appreciate the time that you've given me. We are on YouTube, on social media, Pamela Kaiduru, on Facebook, on Twitter, and you can also get to interact further even on TikTok. Thank you, and see you in the next episode.